We've all heard the cliches. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Time heals all wounds. Just forgive and forget. But have you ever stopped to wonder who decided those were the rules? Have you ever felt like that forgiveness wasn't actually for your peace, but for their comfort? Like it was a script someone else wrote to make your survival a little less messy for the people at the dinner table? For many of us, navigating life after trauma feels like playing a role in a play we never auditioned for. We are expected to be the perfect survivor, quiet, forgiving, recovered, and productive, without ever being asked what we want and what we need to feel safe. Well, today, we're breaking the script and asking ourselves, who wrote this anyways? Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Breaking the Script podcast. I am your host, Marcel, and I am a child abuse survivor. Today, we're taking a closer look at the unwritten rules of survival. We're going to be talking about the good victim trope. We're going to audit the rules you're currently living by, and I'm going to give you a practical way to start shredding the chapters that don't belong to you anymore. Let's get into it. So, let's talk about this trope. What even is it? The good victim is someone who went through trauma, but they've moved on. They don't bring it up at Thanksgiving. They don't make people feel awkward. They took their trauma, turned it into a learning experience, and now they're just fine. They're resilient. Society loves these kinds of people. Why? Because these people don't need anything from us. They don't need us to hold people accountable or to sit in the heavy discomfort of what actually happened. But here's the truth. When we try to fit into that trope, we aren't actually healing. We are just performing. We're prioritizing keeping the peace over our own emotional well-being. And the problem with keeping the peace for everyone else is that it usually means starting a war of emotional turmoil inside ourselves. I've been in this position one too many times. For me, I have this grandma who keeps on trying to get me to talk with my biological mother. She has this deep, desperate need for me to reconnect with her. She'd try to get me to invite her over when she came to visit, or hand me a ringing phone with that hopeful look in her eyes that said, "Just do this for me." And I did. I gave in. I'd stand there in the kitchen, heart beating out of my chest, face hot with a mix of anger and fear, and I'd say the lines. I'd make the small talk. "Hello. How are you?" "I'm good." "I miss you too." The room felt peaceful for both of them. But as soon as I hung up that phone, I felt hollow. Every time I said my lines just to stop my grandma from pouting, I felt like I was betraying the little girl who worked so hard to get away. I was hitting the mark, sure, but I was hurting myself in the process. I realized then that making everyone else comfortable was actually making me sick. If you've ever felt that hollow feeling after a family dinner or a phone call you didn't want to take, I need you to hear this. You aren't difficult. You're just tired of doing uncomfortable things for the comfort of others. And today, we're handing the script back to you. I want to get a little bit more personal here. I want you to look at your life right now. Your boundaries, your relationships, even the way you talk to yourself when you're alone. Most of the rules we live by were handed to us before we were even old enough to read. Things like, don't put your bare feet on the cold floor, or family is everything, no matter what. These aren't just phrases, they're cages. And the thing about these rules is that they were often survival tools once. Maybe staying quiet kept you safe when you were 8 years old. Maybe being a people pleaser was the only way to avoid a blow up in your house. But you aren't 8 anymore. These tools are now cages. It's like trying to walk through life wearing an old coat that's 3 sizes too small. It's tight, it's uncomfortable, and it's ripping at the seams, but you keep wearing it because you were told it's the only one you have. I remember having to call my mom 4 times a week when I first moved in with my dad, even when I didn't want to, or I was too busy studying for 6 AP classes. I would do it 90% of the time. And that other 10%, well, I was met with passive-aggressive comments about not caring about her or trying to push her away. The first time I actually told her that I wasn't going to be able to pick up every call or call her countless times a day, I felt free. I felt a weight get lifted off my shoulders, like I was finally in control. I'm here to tell you, you can take the coat off. You can change the rules. You can ask, is this keeping me safe? Or does it just keep me small? And I'll be honest with you, my heart was in my throat when I first told her. But the freedom that came afterwards, the peace I felt after, was worth it. It is worth it. Alright, it's time for the break. This is the part of the show where we stop talking and start doing. I want you to grab a piece of paper, or just open the note on your phone. I want you to write down one rule you feel like you have to follow regarding your past. Something that feels heavy. Maybe it's, I can't talk about what happened to other people. Or, I have to attend every family function to keep the peace. Write it down. Look at it. Now, underneath it, ask yourself, who does this rule actually benefit? If the answer is my parents' reputation, or so-and-so's comfort, or avoiding a fight with so-and-so, but it's costing you your sleep, your peace, or your sanity, then that rule is a draft. And drafts can be edited. You have the pen now. You get to decide if that rule makes it into the final script. Before I let you go, we're going to do our very first script flip. This is the part of the show where we take a common saying, one of those tired, dusty lines we've been handed, and we look at it under a microscope to see if it actually benefits us. If it doesn't, we flip it. We often hear the world say, you're a product of your past. It makes it sound like we're off an assembly line, like no matter how much we grow or change, our past will always define us. Let's start saying, you're the architect of your present. The past happened. We aren't denying it. It will always be a part of us. We are still lugging it around with us. But what we choose to do with that luggage, that's up to us. It's up to you. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. Healing isn't easy, and I know it can be heavy and exhausting, but it is so worth it. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone who might need to hear that they aren't alone. If you want more content like this, check out my website at mystorymylife.info for survivor stories and for articles covering mental health and child abuse awareness. Or, if you're looking for more simple, low-key content, check out my Instagram at mystorymylife.official or my TikTok at mystorymylife.info. And as always, if you're in a dark place right now, please reach out. There is help. There is hope. And there is a community waiting for you. I am Maciel. This is Breaking the Script. And for those of you out there like me, you are not a victim. You are a survivor. I'll talk to you in the next one.